Good morning. How's everyone doing? I'll just wait a minute. I know some of you will watch this on playback, but I'm just going to wait a minute or so to see so that some people can join me live. I hope you're all doing well today. It's Thursday. Yay. I'm just waiting to see if there's anyone about this morning. Oh, there's a couple of people. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. Who else is there? I just wanted to say good morning and thanks for joining me this morning. I'm just giving it just a minute to see if there's a few people live. Hi, Victoria. Thanks for the wave. I hope you're all doing well this morning. Hi, Charlie. I'm so excited to be here again this morning. I'm going to tell you a funny story while we wait. So I'm from the desert. I think I said before I'm from America, but I've lived here, well, it'll be 16 years now in January, I think. Is it 16 years? Maybe it's 15 years. But when we did a Zoom the other day with Lisa and Christy, and they were both in like their short sleeve shirts, and here's me in my like giant warm hoodie. And I was like, I want to put on my short sleeve Scentsy shirts, but I'm always cold. So I've turned on like an extra radiator in my office just so I could wear my short sleeve shirt that I love so much. Hi, Bethany. I think I missed someone. Hi, Debbie. So I was just saying about me wearing my short sleeve shirt and I'm always freezing in winter. I think I'm either a really cold person or I just have a really cold house because everyone else can wear short sleeve shirts and I normally can't. But I put it on today and decided to heat up my office just so that I could wear it. So I hope you're doing really well this morning, everyone. First off, I've come on to talk to you about Scentsy on the go. But I just wanted to say before I do, just a massive well done everyone for making it this far. This is our last official live training today. We've got another video tomorrow morning with some training from some SSDs. And we're going to do a live tomorrow night with Christy and Lisa and myself. So come join us tomorrow evening to celebrate getting through this workshop. And it doesn't end there because you are more than welcome to carry on encouraging each other and posting things that you find helpful. There have been some fabulous, well, I shouldn't say some, all of the trainings have been absolutely fabulous. I personally have learned so much from these trainings. I've said before, I've been doing Scentsy 10 years, but that doesn't make me an expert by any means. But you can always learn something new, new ideas or refresh old ideas. I've learned so much from all of you that have shared, and I just want to give you a big round of applause for everyone who shared with us. Some of them have done it before, some of them haven't, and I just think it's fantastic to share ideas with each other. It doesn't matter if you've been here one day or 1,000 days, and we all have something to offer to each other, which I think is really important in remembering, especially if you're new and you're thinking about recruiting but you feel like you don't know enough. There's never a bad time to recruit by any means because you can always learn together and there's always something you have to offer someone else. So I just wanted to say that. Let's talk about Scentsy on the go. Now, some of these ideas you maybe already know or you've done yourself, or maybe some of them might be new, or you might just want to revamp what you're doing. So one of the most important things is never be Scentsy naked. I love that phrase. Someone said it a few years ago and it stuck with me. Never be Scentsy naked. Now, Lisa talked about branding and wearing Scentsy. I've got my Scentsy shirt on today. But what I'm talking about is not just naked clothes, but I'm talking about you should always have Scentsy with you. Now, some of the things I'm going to share today, obviously in our current circumstances, don't work. But as I am very confident, we are not going to be living, this is not the new normal, and we are not going to be living like this forever. So some of these are ideas that we might not be able to use tomorrow while we're still in lockdown, but they're still ideas that you can use going forward. And some of them are still ideas we can use during lockdown. But never be Scentsy naked. Always have catalogs with you, samples with you. I have always from quite the beginning, I did a training and they talked about having a mobile office. Now, mine actually, when I pulled it out, was really outdated because I can't remember the last time I probably went somewhere and spent time with people. So I need to revamp it, but I have a few weeks still before I'm getting out and about. But a mobile office is really good. And what it is it's just however you can carry stuff in your car or wherever you're going to be, however you get around. If you don't drive, but you have a big bag you carry with you, you could always have something in it. But always having catalogs and samples, it never fails. The one time I don't have one with me and someone goes, oh, do you have a catalog? And I'm like, oh, I should have had that with me. So what I do, I'm just going to grab a couple things that I use off the floor here. I should have just had them all on. Don't look at the mess behind me. So a couple things that I do, and I'll just show you, is I carry, so one of the things I do is I have a mobile office. This is what it looks like. It's just a little, it's like a, is it like a makeup organizer or jewelry? I don't know. I got them on Amazon. They're super cheap. You can buy them in multiple packets. But I use one of, oh, sorry. Let me just dismiss that. I use one of these and I put catalogs in it. And I put, I don't know where all my samples are. I maybe have little sample bags sometimes in them. I think all my samples are actually somewhere else right now. I often have in like join brochures. These ones are quite old. I will have maybe like a little packet of a join packet, you know, that might have my business card and some info in it. I always have some sort of notepad that I can write down a note or do something. Obviously always have business cards in it. I haven't done this for a while now, but I would carry Inner to Win to get people's details. I'd carry that with it. Always carry like a thank you, like if I'm on the go and I want to write something to a customer if I'm passing. Always have order forms in it. So just anything. I mean, you can come up with lots of ideas for what you would put in yours. Something else I would carry is a little packet of testers. We used to have mini testers, so I have lots of them. So I might just carry a little bag like this that has some mini testers. Now, it's not all of ours, obviously, but it'll just be a selection of like top scents that people can get a feel of what Scentsy's for. So those are just some things that I would carry in my mobile office. Now, like I said, never be Scentsy naked. Always have Scentsy with you. There's always an opportunity to give Scentsy out. So, you know, you might be at the grocery store and you might run into someone you know, but they maybe they don't know that you do Scentsy, and the conversation comes up and they might go, oh, what's that all about? And you can go, well, let me tell you, I got a nice little scent here. This is what Scentsy smells like. Here's a catalog. So that's really important. Catalogs, join brochures, samples, some testers. Another good thing to put in your mobile office is bulbs. Like, have you ever had someone go, oh, you know, my mini warmer, the bulb just blew. Do you have any of those? And you go, oh yeah, I do. Here you go. You know, so things like that, little things that you could just have on hand that shows that you're proactive in your business to regular customers, to friends that are customers, or just to new customers. Another good thing to carry maybe in your mobile office, and I've only just started doing this just in the fall, is an old fragrance flower. Where do I have one? Got one right here. Now, this was interesting because I took it to someone's house to show them, and I took it, so this is an old one, so it's all gone. I mean, I can kind of still smell, this one's really old. This is probably one of the first ones. But sticking it in like your cup holder in your car, and then if you're out making deliveries or something, and you haven't told, or that new customer hasn't seen the fragrance flower, you can just pull it out and go, oh, I got your delivery. Have you seen our fragrance flowers? You're not going to spill any oil or anything because it's all empty, but it's a good way to advertise them by taking the old ones that are empty and carrying them around with you. So you could pop that in your Scentsy mobile office. And like I said, a good thing is like when you're out making deliveries, always have extras with you. So have some bulbs. If you order the 6-pack of the scent of the month, carry one with you. If you've made samples, give it out. But you could always say to a customer, you know, if you've bought that 6-pack, you could always say, oh, and I've got your new order, but have you heard of our scent of the month this month? It's amazing. And you might just have a sale right there on hand. Now, I'm not encouraging you to carry stock, obviously, all the time, because we don't need to do that. But I know as a consultant who's been in this business a long time, a lot of us always end up with bits and pieces because we love it so much. So I always just carry things in my car that I think customers might like when I go to do deliveries. I just went to do a delivery to, or I took the new testers to a good friend of mine, and I know that she loves, she almost always buys some of the bundles we have. So we had the Happy Collection, the Christmas collection, but she didn't get the Happy Collection, but she just had a baby, and she said, I'm feeling really low and I need some new scents. So I actually took a bundle of the Happy Wax that I had, because I liked it and bought an extra, and thought she might want that because that actually might be just what she's looking for to pick up her mood. So always just be prepared when you're out and about. I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands a lot. Be prepared when you're out and about, having things with you. Like I said, having extras with you, so having extra samples with you. Another way to do Scentsy on the go, so that's your mobile office. Always be prepared, never be Scentsy naked. Another idea for Scentsy on the go, which a lot of you probably do, is basket or borrow bags. Now borrow bags are a great idea to get new customers. If someone has never done Scentsy before, you can loan them a warmer and a couple bars of wax, and give them a catalog. What's a really great idea, particularly if you're newer in the business, is ask people to be product testers for you. Say, oh, I started selling Scentsy. Have you ever tried it? Would you be a product tester and maybe give me a review? It's a great way of getting new customers. I do it when we get new products as well, asking my regular customers, can you be a product tester for me? It's a great way of like taking the pressure off of selling, because you're sharing, you're asking an opinion, and they're always going to come back and love it. So this is one of my like borrow bags. So if I have someone who's known I've done Scentsy for a while, but they just haven't jumped in, I have a little Scentsy bag. And in this one, I've got a mini warmer. I might just throw in a wax that has a couple cubes left, or I might give them like 2 different waxes to choose from, but I wouldn't give them a whole bar. I just give them like one or two cubes of each scent so they can try it. I'll throw maybe a go in there and give them maybe 2 different sets of pods to try out, because they might not like the same things that I do. And I'll throw in catalogs, obviously, and things like that. And then I always encourage them, you know, share it with a friend if you're going to be at work or whatever. So that's just another idea for Scentsy on the go. Basket parties. You can do basket parties in so many different ways. I'm not going to tell you a lot about basket parties or bag parties because I think a lot of you probably know them. What I'd really love to do is ask you guys to share your basket parties and bag party ideas with us. So I'm going to put that in a post, and I would love it if you guys shared pictures, ideas about what you do. But just a couple quick things. One of the things that I do is a pouch party, which is again another one of these little bags, has a little smell me sign on it. And this is just a simple one that I can, like, again, carry with me. And then anytime I get someone new, or maybe even someone who just hasn't had anything for a while, I go, oh, well, I've got the new catalog, and I just put, you know, like 10 testers in, or I might put 10 of the newest testers in and go, oh, here's my little pouch party. And then I encourage them to share it with their friends and get a couple more. Get a couple more orders that make up to a party, things like that. So that's just another idea. I mean, obviously, there are lots of ways that you can take Scentsy on the go. One of my most recent ideas was I had to get a little bit more creative with lockdown and our restrictions in the autumn. But in the run up to Christmas, I started doing what I called a pop-up shop from my car boot. Now, I had a lot of fun doing this, and I didn't do it a huge amount of times, but I definitely will be going forward. So I wish I had a picture, but I did actually forget to take a picture, but I have a picture of where I got the idea from another consultant. Hers looked a lot better. I was kind of haphazardly throwing it in. But what I did was, because this year I wasn't able to do fairs like I normally would in the run up to Christmas, I couldn't do any parties like I had normally in the past. I'm really big into my parties and fairs. So what I did was I put stuff in my boot in pretty little baskets and things. that I would have taken to a fair. Now, some of it is stock that I had that I would have sold at a fair, and some of it is just display stuff I would take to a party or my own personal stuff. And I put it in the boot of my car, and I tried to make it look somewhat nice and orderly, but obviously I only had so much space. Now, the girl that I saw the idea from was in America, and she even like hung bunting on the boot when she opened it up. I wasn't quite sure how that would work in British weather of rain and stuff. But what I did was I kind of just spread the word. You could do it, I guess, a little bit more formally, but I just spread the word through some of my school mums that I was going to be making some deliveries at the school run that day. And if they needed anything, I was going to have a pop-up shop in the boot of my car. So when I opened my boot and pulled out the orders that I had for the people, a few people were like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's interesting. Can I have a look? And I actually sold several warmers. And what I didn't sell from what I had, I obviously took orders just like I would at a party or anything else. And actually I sold quite a few bits from just doing that a couple different days. So it really made me realize, and I've done this before in the past, about being intentional about when I make my deliveries. So often when I make my deliveries at the school run, which of course I'm not doing at the moment, but when I make my deliveries at the school run, I make sure, like I do all of my customers, I make them look really nice. And I make sure that I deliver to the person in front of other people, just so that people can see what I'm doing. And then when someone goes, oh, what is she getting? And you're like, it looks like a birthday gift, you know, and they're like, oh, it's my Scentsy order. And they're like, oh, you do Scentsy, of course. Oh, you know what? I need some new wax. And then it gets the ball rolling. And if you get a few people there, they might go, oh, and then you can even say, oh, have a party, you know. So I parked up in the middle. I usually park in a totally different spot, but when I had it in my car boot, I made sure I found a space, got there early, parked up in the middle of all these school moms and everything, so that I made sure that I picked a time when they were going to be there and they would see things. So a pop-up shop is a way to do it. I actually did one at my house as well. So at the end of November, I would always have, in the beginning of December, I would always have like an open house at my house for my customers to come. But obviously we weren't able to do that. We were restricted with numbers. We couldn't have people in our home in November. And then I wasn't sure going in December how people would feel coming into our house, if I'd get anyone coming. So I decided I would do a pop-up shop like I would have done with all the things I would take to a fair, but I did them on my porch. Now granted, you need to get some kids. Kids are great for orders, Victoria. But dogs work too. But my pop-up shop, now granted you do have to have the space outside maybe, or a porch, it was covered, but you could be creative and put a tent up if you wanted to. I just set up my porch like I would set up for a fair in a way. And I sent messages to all my customers saying I was having a pop-up shop this weekend between this time and this time. And what I did was, because obviously we were restricted with how many people could gather with the 6 here in the UK, I said, I need to know in advance if you're coming, just so I can make sure I book you in for a time slot so I don't have too many people at any given time. Now, if I'm honest, I didn't expect a lot, but I thought it's worth a try. I'm sat at home, I'm not doing much, I might as well have a go. And it went fantastic. I didn't have a huge amount of people come, but the people that didn't come still ordered from me. Because they were like, oh, what do you have, or what can I get? So it caused, it created an engagement that I maybe wouldn't have from just a message of, I'm placing an order tonight. I got engagement from customers because I said I was doing a pop-up shop. I wanted them to be able to come. I made a big song and dance about how lovely it would be to see people and get a smile, even though we can't hug. And people genuinely enjoyed it. And the people that did come stayed and chatted for a short while. It wasn't too overcrowded. And in the end, I ended up doing it on 2 different days because I had a few people that said they couldn't come the first day. And what was really great about this, it was all down to the convenience of my own house. I left it out on my porch. I mean, I don't live in a built-up area, so I could do that. But even if I couldn't, I could have sat out there that whole time. But it was really convenient for me. And I actually think going forward, I might skip some of the fairs and do this instead. But a pop-up shop, like I said, it was a great way for me to find a way around what I couldn't do, but find a new way to do something. One of the other things about Scentsy on the go, now again, at the moment we can't do some of these, but whenever I meet friends for coffee, I make sure I have catalogs. I make sure I always take new testers or any testers. I even say to some of my closest friends, hey, do you want to meet for a coffee in the middle of town? I'm going to bring my testers and my Scentsy Go. Do you mind? And then I'll see if anyone else wants anything. And I always take my testers when I meet up with friends. And Carlisle's a small place where I live, so often there's always someone you know passing you. You always see somebody you know, and they're going, oh, do you have the new scents? And I'm like, yeah, do you want to have a sniff? So always have a Scentsy Go. I just said that. Always have a Scentsy Go. When you go for a coffee or out for a meal, have your Scentsy Go on your table, and people are like, oh, where's that smell coming from? So that's just a little bit about Scentsy on the go. There's a lot more ideas, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. But what I thought is if I shared a few of my ideas, but obviously lots of you will have ideas. Lots of you will already be doing some of these things. Share your photos with us of what you do. I had some borrow bags of my new testers, but I realized they were all out this week, so I couldn't show you. But I'd love to see pictures of what you're doing. I'm always looking for new ideas. My borrow bags are out, or my testers are out at the moment. I call them my sniffers. Some ideas for loaning out the new tester samples. A lot of people give their bag of scents a name and say, you know, I'm going to use Sandy. Sandy's right there in front of me. Good morning, Sandy from Florida. You could call your bag Sandy and say, Sandy's ready for a date tonight. Is anyone free for a date with Sandy? These testers need to go out and make some money or something like that, you know. Some good ideas for keeping things. I always have these little like plastic envelopes that I keep, that's an old catalog obviously, that I keep catalogs in. I carry them around in my handbag. I carry them in my car. I always have a stash in my car. I have a good friend gave me this one, and I use it as like a little pouch party. And sometimes if I have regular customers who order, I often take them one of these with the new catalog and the scents and just say gather some orders from friends that maybe have already had a party in the past. So if you have previous hosts, they might do that. Even right now when they're not able to get out, they might tell their friends about their favorites, and then their friends might order. So these are just some ideas on how you can get your products out there, how you can get your catalog, your name out there when you're on the go. I am usually quite busy doing school runs and dance runs for my girls going to dance or to other climbing. They do climbing and stuff normally in a normal life. And I take these things with me. I make sure I always have a handbag that has a catalog in it. I never go without. And the other day I saw on Facebook that someone I knew her daughter had Sylvanian families, and I actually had some Sylvanian families stuff left over that we were getting rid of. So I messaged her on Facebook. Now she was a customer that I haven't heard from in a very long time, so I thought, oh, here's a good idea. And I did want to give her the Sylvanian families. But I wrapped up the Sylvanian families in a little bag for her daughter. I threw in a scent circle just saying, hope you have a great day. But I didn't want to presume and put a catalogue in it because I thought, no, I want her to know I'm actually genuinely giving this because we wanted to give it to her daughter. But when I went to drop it off, of course I took a catalogue with me. And I didn't even have to say it because I was going to say to her, oh, by the way, do you need a new catalogue? I've got some in the car. And I didn't even have to say it. She said to me, oh, I was going to ask you, do you have a new Scentsy catalogue? I really need a new one. So I was like, of course I do. And I went to the car, having already presumed she'd ask or hopefully give her one. I gave her a Scentsy catalogue and a new sample to use in her warmer. So never be Scentsy naked. That is the biggest message from this. I hope you guys have found some information helpful in this. Really what I hope is, I hope you found some information helpful, but I hope it's just maybe giving you some ideas about how you can work your business in what you do. I know I've given lots of examples of my children, but that's just my life. But you might go to work and work in a hospital or work in an office, and maybe you need to be taking your Scentsy Go or your Scentsy mini fan diffuser or something like that. And always have a catalogue somewhere that people can see it. And when people say, oh, that smells really good, you go, oh, well, let me just pull that out. You need to get my borrow bag out. I know sometimes I go in phases, Victoria, where I have my borrow bags and they can be sitting here for ages, and then suddenly I'll have a rush. Obviously at the new beginning of a new catalogue I often get a rush because people want to smell the new scents. So both mine are out this week. I probably had all of them for the last month. I didn't have lots out because a lot of my customers had already smelled them and they knew what they wanted. But hopefully that's inspired some new ideas for Scentsy on the go. Biggest thing from this is always have your Scentsy, never be Scentsy naked, and have your mobile office. So that's going to be your challenge for today, to create a mobile office that you can leave in your car or in your bag if you have a bag that you carry with you or something. And get them out there. Make sure you have the information with you that you can hand to people. So I hope that's helped you guys today, and I didn't just babble on about things. Don't forget, again, tomorrow we're going to have a video in the morning, and then tomorrow evening we're going to have some fun and we're going to celebrate finishing this workshop tomorrow evening. So make sure to come live, and there'll be some surprises with Lisa and Christy and I tomorrow night. I think it's at 8 p.m, but I'm sure we'll post on the page. I would love for you guys to get on today and share your ideas. I'm going to put a post up about sharing ideas of your basket parties, your Scentsy on the go, what you're doing, what you're sending out. That would be really great. Have a great Thursday, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.